Hey everybody, Scott Jansen here, and today I want to talk about what I would do if I was relaunching my hypnotherapy practice. Again, for a lot of you that would realize I don't see any hypnotherapy clients anymore. So I thought, well, what would I actually do to launch my business again? How would I set up my business? What activities would I be doing each day to get paid clients? And also, how would I get to my first $10,000 a month? So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I would do, what I would ignore, what my day would look like, and essentially how I would guarantee to get to my first $10,000 a month if I was to relaunch my business from absolute scratch. So let's dive in. So here we go. So if I had to start again, this is exactly what I'd do. So over to the left here, just in this quick diagram, let me tell you what I wouldn't be spending my time on. I wouldn't be spending any time on building a website, creating a logo, looking at colors, getting professional shots done for my website. I definitely wouldn't put any time into any business cards or flyers or going to business lunches or anything like that. And I definitely wouldn't be giving away free sessions. We know the number one priority for any business, especially launching from absolute scratch, is to get cash and revenue into our business, and that really can't be done if we're giving away free sessions. So I wouldn't be spending any time on any of these things. These activities right here are what I call long-term strategies. I would never be giving away free sessions regardless. But as far as a website and business cards, these are long-term strategies, and it takes a lot of moving parts to have these little strategies here actually pay off to some income. So once I realized what I wouldn't want to do, I'd then give myself what I call a KPI, which is a key performance index. And what I would do is I'd give myself a 30-day attack. Okay, so I'd say to myself, okay, over the next 30 days, I want to get X amount of people on the phone, I want to make X amount of money, and I want X amount of clients. So let's say in this 30-day attack, I knew my prices were, let's say, $1,000, okay? And I wanted to see 10 clients in a month. That would give me a $10,000 a month. This is how I would structure each and every day. And I want to show you how I'd break this down and literally what my schedule would be like so you guys can follow along and definitely replicate this. So 30-day attack, I would essentially ignore everything else. So I'd sacrifice my social time, I'd sacrifice TV, Netflix, whatever else I was doing at the time that wasn't this. If it's not a part of this schedule right here, which I'll talk you through, it's not going to make the list, and I'm going to sacrifice those things straight away. I'm also going to rinse and repeat daily. Like I'm literally going to get up and do the same thing each and every day to get to my goals. There's going to be no wavering from my schedule. It's literally just doing the same thing each day. And I'd be pretty tough on myself, and I'd promise myself that my day wouldn't end until I've booked calls for the following day. So if my goal with my KPI was to have 2 or 3 calls booked every other day, I wouldn't stop. I'd be happy to sit in front of my laptop for 15 or 18 hours, sit on Facebook, talk to people directly, if it means that I'm going to get booked calls either for that day or later on during the week, and I wouldn't stop. I literally would just be relentless with this, and I wouldn't let anything waver me away from my actual schedule. So this is what my 30-day attack would be, and I'd be all in 100%. So what would my day look like? Well, first thing I would do is probably the most important part. Before I thought about the niche, before I thought about who I want to help, I'm going to do some very extensive investigation. I'm going to figure out the profitability of my niche, because we know, and if you've been following me for quite a while, you understand that not every niche is profitable, unfortunately. No matter how much we want a certain niche to be profitable, no matter how passionate we are as a coach or a therapist, not every niche is going to make us money. So you do have to be flexible in regards to either changing your niche, pivoting your niche, working with that niche, whatever it is, because we've got to make sure that we stay and remain profitable. So I do a lot of investigation in my niche. Now, just because my background was in stop smoking, if I was to start again, I wouldn't dive into the stop smoking niche based on the old information that I had over a decade ago, because the market has changed. People have changed. People's motivation has changed. The whole industry changes so often that I'd want to go into this absolutely, just with a blank mind. I'd want to go into this as if I was starting from scratch, as if I'd never had a practice before, and I'm going to investigate my niche to make sure it's profitable. How would I do this? Let's say, for example, I did want to get back into stop smoking clients. What would I do? Well, I'd go onto something like Facebook And I would start to direct message people that I maybe found in stop smoking support groups, or maybe people that I saw on their Facebook page if they were having a cigarette or something. And I would literally message these people. I'd have no embarrassment about messaging these people. And I'd ask them a few questions around, the smoking itself, why they smoke, have they tried to quit in the past, just general investigation questions to find out what's going on in my niche, because I want to find out, is there anything new that I need to be aware of before I jump into this niche, and I'll be able to investigate and also assess whether it's going to be profitable long term. So that's the first thing I do. I wouldn't assume anything. Number two, once I've done my investigation, and let's say I went with the stop smoking niche and I found that to be very profitable again, my next step would be to post on Facebook that I was starting my business again. I would literally just start to build up some hype and that I was going to start seeing stop smoking clients, and I'd make this abundantly clear. I would write on my Facebook, I'm starting my hypnotherapy business again. I can't wait to work with all my stop smoking clients. And I'd build up some hype. I'd put some emojis, some color. I'd do a quick Facebook Live, something like this, to get that hype up and for people to realize what I'm doing. And it wouldn't surprise me if I started to get some interest just from a post like this. So that would be number two. I'd start to build up some hype. Number three, and probably the most important, is I'd actually go into Facebook groups and I drag people out of those support groups, because realistically, those Facebook support groups are not really offering anything to these smokers. They're not offering anything to your anxiety clients, your fear clients, your mindset clients, other than these groups almost being like a little pity party. I would drag them out of these groups because I want to pull them onto my page, where I'm going to move into step number 4, and I'm going to show them some great content. I'm going to show them that I'm the expert. I'm going to talk about their pain, and I'm going to offer the solution that I have for them. So number 3 is I'm going to go into these Facebook groups. I'm going to drag people out of these groups and onto my Facebook page. And I should mention, guys, that I would be doing this on a personal page, not a business or a brand page, as you've probably heard me say many times before. Then I'd move into number 4. I'd be refreshing my niched Facebook content every 2 to 3 hours. It'd be a mixture of Facebook Lives, posts, announcements, blogs, long posts, short posts, whatever I could. Every 2 to 3 hours, I'd have refreshed content. Because the people that I've dragged out of these Facebook groups, I need them to come to my page and instantly see what I do. Now, with my content, I'm not going to talk about me. I'm not going to talk about my past. I'm not going to talk about my story. I'm not going to talk about where or who I was certified with, because my potential clients don't care about that stuff. I'm going to be very, very tightly niched. It's all going to be about smoking, stop smoking, the solution that I have, how smoking affects this part of the body and can affect this part of your life. Very niched content around my specific niche, and the delivery of that content will be a mixture of Facebook Lives, posts, and announcements. So once I did that for a couple of days, and I'll talk about the rinse and repeat part in a moment, which is down here. Number 5, I would then start to direct message my audience. So once I pull people out of these Facebook groups, I sent them a friend request. Once they accepted, I'd allow them to see my content for 1 or 2 days. Then I would directly message these people. I wouldn't be waiting for people. Now, I did a video about this yesterday, which I'll post a link below. The difference between waiting for clients to come and find you, which is a very long timeline to get your first paying clients, or us making the first move and being very active in our approach to speak to people, to start conversations. And I'll post that video below for you guys to check out. So I would literally start to direct message people and talk to them about their problem, talk to them about how I can help them, and I'd be offering them a strategy call, a chance to jump on the phone with me, and a chance for them to finally overcome their problem. If it's what they wanted, to finally overcome their problem, I wouldn't be waiting for people to find me. So if we're building a website or business cards and flyers, we have to wait for these potential clients to find our website. There's nowhere in the world that anyone's going to be typing in my exact website on Google looking for me, but they are going to be on Google looking for answers to their problem, like how do I quit smoking? How do I overcome my fear of flying? How do I find a better relationship? How do I get out of a toxic relationship? These are the common things that potential clients are going to be investigating on Google, not my exact website. Hopefully you see my point there. So I'm not going to wait for people to find me. I'm going to make the first move and I'm going to start conversations. Anybody that became a friend of mine on Facebook, I'm going to start conversations with them. I'm not going to pitch to them. I'm not going to offer my price. I'm just going to offer them a chance for something free to jump on a strategy call. Then on the strategy call, number 6, I'm going to offer my paid service immediately, with something called incentive-based pricing, no free sessions. So incentive-based pricing means that if they book today, they'll get a percentage of a discount off if they book today and they pay in full. I won't go too far into the details of that, but most people are doing this anyway. And I wouldn't be offering anything for free. To be literally, if you want to book me today, my everyday price is, let's say, $1,800 to quit smoking. But if you book today, I'll offer it to you for $1,000. When would you like to book in? And that'd be pretty much the conversation I would have. And number 7, being a part of my 30-day attack, is I'd repeat this every day. My goal would be to get as many strategy calls booked every day, because when I get someone on a strategy call, I can then talk about my offer, talk about my price, overcome their objections, talk about exactly how I can help them and what they need from me specifically. And I can guarantee by just repeating this every single day, from pulling people out of Facebook groups, refreshing my niche content, directly messaging people, offering a strategy call, and getting people on the phone every day, I can guarantee I would hit that $10,000 a month very, very quickly. And it would just be almost like a Groundhog Day effect, what I'd just be repeating this every day. And although I've labeled this as a 30-day attack, this would literally look what my business would look like. If I wanted to scale to $15,000 a month or $20,000 a month, I'd essentially need to do just more of this. Now, obviously, there's more things that we can put into the system. This is just a very basic version, but I just repeat a lot of these stuffs. These become the elements and the building blocks of what makes a very profitable business. Where most people fail is they're spending far too long on things that don't matter. They're spending far too long creating content that their clients don't care about, or the potential clients don't care about. They're spending far too long creating the websites, creating the funnels, trying to write Facebook ads, giving away free sessions, going to like a business lunch or a business breakfast and handing out business cards. Too long is spent on things that don't matter, and not enough time on a very active attack to reach your KPIs every single month, and also holding yourself accountable. So very simple. This is what I would do if I had to start again, whether I was a hypnotherapist or a coach. I'd start from scratch with my niche investigation all the way down to offering my services for income immediately, no free sessions, nothing like that. And I'd hold myself very accountable to this 30-day attack and make sure I achieve my goals. So that's all from me for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.